Stevie, how impressed were you with Liverpool today?
Wow. I couldn't quite believe what I was saying. You know, you wouldn't have known that Liverpool, from having a fully fit squad to what they have now, making 5 changes if you include Fabinho going to the back, it was Liverpool-esque. It was Liverpool of old. It's probably the best performance from start to finish from a Liverpool team since a restart, considering what they had on the field. And if I'm Jurgen Klinsmann, I am absolutely delighted tonight that I know that I can make changes and nothing changes. An absolutely dominant performance. Should have been 6 or 7, by the way. Particularly Firmino, a couple of chances. Just how he hasn't scored more goals than just the one header he got is incredible. But I mean, it was a champions performance with half a team. That's what it was.
I think Jurgen Klopp, should take more credit than Jurgen Klinsmann, Stevie. But looking at it overall,
I beg your pardon.
How does he do it? How do you make this team where we take a look at the starting 11, bits and pieces, trying to fit it all together? How does it continue to produce this sort of performances? And we're talking about Leicester City, about a team that started the season so well.
Well, it's all about what goes on in training. And it's all about how the manager includes everybody, so that whenever they do get a game, then they're ready for it. They know exactly what's expected, and they can comfortably do it. That's what it's about. It's about looking after your squad. Obviously, you have to build a squad, and clearly Liverpool have built that. You know, whether it's Edwards up the stair with the recruitment, certainly some of the young players. You know, you got Williams come on for Keita. And you got Curtis Jones at 19 years of age, who looked like an old pro. So it's a whole combination of looking after the squad and making sure you're ready. And I mean, my goodness, Jurgen Klopp now has choices.
As opposed to Arsenal, Stevie, who we saw drill 0-0 against Leeds today. You'd be concerned, wouldn't you, if you're a fan of the Gunners? It just, after all that excitement, after winning the FA Cup and looking good leading into the season, there was just nothing at all again from them really today.
No, and the fact that Pepe gets sent off, it makes it easy for Arteta to talk about how well they did with only 10 men for basically most of the second half, which luckily for him, maybe will take the questions away of what happened while they had 11, because they were no different with 11 than they were with 10. In fact, for a little 5-10 minute spell in the second half with 10 men, they had a couple of opportunities on the break. But yeah, this was dire. It was desperate, and the only thing you can say is that they defended well. But as far as a performance and as far as looking like even contenders for the top 4, they looked like an average middle of the table side. That's what they looked like today.
Where's the spark gone, Stevie?
You know, I think we actually got a little carried away because, you know, they were so bad and lacking in guts and determination, really, and character, that's what Arteta brought. You know, he didn't bring any fancy football or anything like that. You know, he hasn't really signed anybody. Partey's only had a few games, not that many. So this is basically the same Arsenal squad that he took over pretty much. And they're just average. The personnel has to be changed for them to get better. He's got them organised. They're good on the break. When Aubameyang's in form, they can win games. But when Aubameyang's not in form, then where are the goals coming from? So I think we just got duped into the fact that Arteta had taken over and they had some guts and some guile, or go, should I say. Certainly not guile.
Arsenal could argue, though, Shaq, that they could have had a penalty in the second half, the handball that we saw from Leeds in the box.
Yes, they could have. I have to say, I think it comes off the defender first before striking the arm, and so it would have been harsh. So in all honesty,
because it hits his foot first.
It does, yes, yeah. The initial strike from Aubameyang catches his foot first, and then onto the arm. So I don't think the referee could have given it. But then, even so, that's just papering over the cracks for a poor Arsenal performance, as Stevie rightly points out. Now, the thing for me is, and as excited as we get about, or we're getting about Arsenal and maybe their prospects, it's games like these where you see Arsenal's lack of leadership on the field. You maybe hope for it from Arteta on the sidelines, but you need to have somebody on the park. And maybe Thomas Partey is that player in the long term, but he's not on the field today. And you see a rudderless Arsenal when things aren't going your way as a result. And that, for me, is where they've let themselves down. I also expected that Willian, coming from Chelsea, winning the titles that he's done, would bring that mentality to the dressing room. But again, it just doesn't seem to be his character, or he certainly hasn't been able to have that kind of an impact on the Arsenal dressing room so far.
No surprise, Arsenal's odds have drifted somewhat when it comes to winning the title. They are 80-1 now. Spurs, however, their North London rivals, have been tightened after that victory against Manchester City. Spurs now 5-1. Liverpool, big favourite, well, not big favourites, but more favourite now at 11-8. City have drifted to 13-5. Chelsea at 5-1 as well.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.